Pulse of Spokane. Join us for the latest in news, views, and conversation with community leaders. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You, Well Dressed Walrus, Spokane Firefighters Local 29, Creative Music Learning Center, and North Idaho Events. Now, put your finger on the Pulse of Spokane.
Welcome. It's February 11th. Can you believe we've already passed 1 week in the month of February? I was telling someone this morning that here we are basically about 6 weeks into the new year, and I still once in a while call it next year. But we're in 2020. Hey, we've got a great lineup today. Ashton Underahl is here from Mist, not the game Mist and all of that, but she's got some good information. And their purpose is basically to help out doctors and providers and so forth. And we'll hear all about that coming up next. And then Jason Rook from Humanix. They're a company that help place people in various jobs and help companies find employees. And then Kathleen Sullivan Garman with SullyGarman Associates will be here to talk about her business. Next on the Pulse of Spokane.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Spokane Talks Weather Forecast. My name is Connor Kotzman, your official weather forecaster. Today, Spokane looks to be mostly sunny with a high of 42, while this week we'll have on and off rain showers. Tonight will be mostly clear with a low of 23. Today, Cheney looks to be mostly sunny with a high of 40 and a low of 22. Coeur d'Alene looks to be mostly sunny with a high of 41 and a low of 23.
We believe every person is created in the image of God with immeasurable beauty and worth, that people should not be defined by their present condition or past mistakes. We are all broken. We need each other. Healing for our brokenness begins with connection, with understanding how much we are loved by a good God. And with healing comes change, the potential for joy and meaning. No one was created for mere survival on the streets, for an existence blurred by mind-numbing substances. Each person is created with a purpose, a unique gift no one else can offer the world. Our job is to help them rediscover it. Real people, real change. Union Gospel Mission.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
The economy is historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
Oh, welcome back. Ashton Underahl from Mist. Now, two things I remember from our conversation before. One is the name Ashton, because I've got a twin grandson that's named Ashton. So when I went out to let you in, I was not expecting you, okay?
That happens a lot, unfortunately.
That's like Chris and a couple other names that can go to men and women and so forth. And then I thought, well, tell me about all your gaming experience, because I'm thinking of the company Mist with a M-Y, right?
Yeah.
But that's not who you are and what your company is it?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
We're Mist with an I.
Right.
Our vision or our mission is to help healthcare providers navigate all the tumultuous healthcare experiences they've encountered in the last 1 to 2 decades.
Or even in the last week.
I know,
I
right?
mean, based on, I keep hearing all of the requirements of let's call them providers. I think that's the right term. What
Yep.
we mean doctors and clinics and
Yep.
so forth. But I imagine they are just literally on overload, trying to keep everything right and keep it safe.
They are, absolutely. Providers are under a lot of pressure to not only care for the patient in front of them, but to meet all of the federal requirements that have been pressed upon them, balance the art of owning and operating a business, as well as care for those patients. And our job is really to intervene and help peel back some of the layers and allow them to focus on the patient again, rather than all the paperwork in front of them.
I know when I go in to see my doctor, she sits there looking at me, but also typing away
Yeah,
on the computer.
these are the chains.
Yeah, and welcome to today. And a lot of that is, yes, documenting what's going on, what I've said, how I've been feeling, or what medicines to verify and so forth, and I
Yeah.
get that. But my guess is a lot of it is required
It is.
information for the protection of the patient and
Yeah.
the doctor, the providers.
Yeah, it is. The whole, our government got involved to want better health for our nation. They
Right.
want a healthier population. So
Right.
they started reaching out and wanting data. And so the providers have to report back this data. They have to enter, your diagnosis and your symptoms and other tests and questions that they ask you during the course of an exam into specific fields in their EHR. And that produces quite a bit of documentation burden or fatigue, if you will.
Right, right. Okay, so tell me what it is that you provide
Yep, exactly.
to a provider.
Yeah.
That sounds silly, doesn't it? But
But
with
we
services,
do.
yes.
Yes,
What you do.
exactly. We provide consulting services and other technologies to help remove some of that documentation fatigue. I'll give you a specific example.
Great.
So, order sets is one of our most eye-catching innovations for providers. We help providers based upon their habits when they diagnose me with diabetes. He orders me an A1C and 6 other things.
Yeah.
Okay? We know he does
None
these
of which
things.
I could could pronounce.
I
I'm
know,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
The system should do that labor for him so that he can focus on carrying me as
So
a
then he
diabetes
can check
patient.
that off. And
Yes, let's get that tumultuous paperwork off his desk and allow him to make eye contact with me once again.
Yeah, yeah. That's nice to be able to do that because
Yeah.
most of the appointments today are 15 minutes long?
Exactly.
If you're lucky. And I think you said something about, on average, is 12 or 13 minutes of paperwork.
Exactly.
That the provider has to.
Sometimes
My-
your doc is spending more time typing about you
Yes.
than he does looking at you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I can tell when they're looking at me because they start falling on the floor laughing. And so, okay, tell me about, how do you keep up on all of the changes, and do you work with providers for what their new needs are? And so how does that
Exactly.
work?
MIST was developed out of provider need. We had physicians and clinicians come to us. Actually, our founder, Cindy, was an office manager of a family practice clinic here in Post Falls.
Okay.
And she
knows what it's like.
Exactly. We've walked the mile. We have walked the mile in their shoes, and she felt this enormous gap between her EHR vendor and her clinic, and she stepped in to fill it, and that's what created MIST, and we still spur that philosophy today. The physicians are the only ones we serve in the practice. We
Okay.
also the office manager who's doing all of the attestation to the federal government or trying to manage whether or not the documents are signed off on in a timely fashion or that the patient walked out of the clinic with their plan.
Yes.
And so, there's a lot of other areas where we can alleviate burdens and refocus the healthcare relationship back on patients and providers.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And honestly, today, with the insurances and the arrangements and so forth, the providers have got to be efficient.
Yep.
If they're going to make any money.
Yeah,
It used to
exactly.
be, if you were going to be a doctor or something, that you just had it made. It's
Yep.
not that way anymore.
No, it's not. Providers have answered a higher calling, and they've been called to heal. And so,
Not do paperwork.
Exactly. I had one physician on her first day of work. I was helping her on her go live day, and I had her cry on my shoulder. She said, "I didn't go to school for 12 years
Yes.
just to shove paperwork. I need to be in that room with that patient."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you hear that a
impactful.
lot from people that?
Yep, a little bit more than we should. Providers are fairly challenged, and they should be widely respected. And so
Yes.
there's a lot I want to do. I have a big heart for physicians, and everyone at MIST does. It's ingrained in us. We want to care for them and make sure that they can get back to focusing on the patient.
Where are your clients?
Everywhere.
Literally across the country?
Yes,
Okay.
we've done business in every state now.
Okay.
We have over 1,400 clients, including Canada and Guam.
Wow.
And then we have a handful of really fantastic clients here in Coeur d'Alene and Spokane.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this, and how long has the company been doing this?
Cindy, our founder, who's since retired, Jody's our CEO now,
Okay.
she started everything back in 1998.
Oh, gee.
She partnered with Jody in 2007,
Okay.
and then I came along in 2009.
I'll bet during that period of time there's been continuous change, and what you think you've got this week will be different in 2 weeks, right?
Exactly.
Because what you told me when we met first is you guys listen a lot
Yep.
to solve the problems
Yep.
so that next week or next month that provider isn't dealing with that problem. And there'll
Yeah.
probably be something else from an insurance company or
Yep.
the government that will come in and add
Yeah.
to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year the providers are undergoing new change. So there's a new wave of requirements. So everything they did last year has to stay here, and now they have to perform here.
Oh,
So there's just
and
an
it's only going to
added-
continue that direction, isn't it?
Exactly. So we've got to give the providers and their staff the tools they need to get back to focusing on the patient and still meet all of these requirements.
Yeah.
We have to back a little bit of the business and the science off and allow everything to focus on that patient-provider relationship.
Got to ask the question, and I think I know the answer. Are you having fun?
A ton.
Yeah. Why?
I love helping. I've always known I wanted to be involved with healthcare, but when you look at a doc
But
or
you didn't want to
or
spend
any-
20 years being a doctor,
Exactly.
right?
Yep. I did go to dental hygiene school,
Oh,
and
okay.
so and then I started working for MIST, changed majors, and graduated from U of I. But once you see that you've given them a tool for success, or
Yes.
once you see that you've changed their life and made a positive impact on someone else, you're just hooked.
Do you ever get thank you calls?
Yes. Actually, we have a wonderful little contest internally on who can get the most.
Ah, okay. Have you won a few?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Ashton, how can people find out more about MIST?
Yeah, you can head to our website, www.mist-corp.com. Go to the events page. We're going to be at a couple of trade shows this year. Jody will be at HIMSS in just a couple of weeks, so go say hi to Jody.
Okay.
We also host 2 monthly webinars every month, so you can check out our innovation. This month, our MIST innovation is the Office Manager Dashboard, which brings everything to the 500-foot view for that individual and really reduces the amount of steps they have to take. That's on our events page. And then we'll also be doing a cool demonstration about voice recognition technology in one of our new EHRs.
Welcome to 21st century, right?
Amen.
I think it's great. What I also think is great, and we have so many on our programs, is that this is a Spokane, Coeur d'Alene started company.
Yep, it sure
And
is.
how many employees do you have?
We have about 19 to 20 right now,
Okay.
as well as about 30 subcontracted staff.
Okay.
They're all located in the United States with a large hub here in the Coeur d'Alene,
Yeah.
Spokane area.
But we have a lot of these companies that don't deal directly with the public, and yet they're employing people, they're solving problems,
Yep.
not only in our area, but across the country, and Guam.
Yep,
In
and
Canada.
Guam. And Canada.
Yeah. Ashton,
Yep.
thank you very much. Congratulations
You
on all that
betcha.
you guys are doing, and
You betcha.
keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you. Will do.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
This is Looms Day in Spokane. We got about 40 firefighters and their friends and family handing out 40,000 cups of water as the day goes by.
It's a very good opportunity to see the public and support them and help them out and cheer them on during Bloomsday.
It's one of the best things about Spokane is that we have these major events and the whole community comes together not just to participate but to volunteer and show that they really care about our city and making our city look great.
This type of an event really is emblematic of Spokane because so many people get involved. We have 50,000 people probably running this race. Always has been a very huge event.
Right now we're at the corner of Broadway and Nettleton. It's the last water station before the finish, so people are pretty much dehydrated by the time they get to us. They really need our water.
The water stations are a vital part, especially on warm days like today. It's real important that we have the volunteers to help with that. Without the volunteers, Bloomsday wouldn't exist.
All up and down the course, there are people that are involved in this celebration. It really is a celebration of what Spokane's all about.
I'm Nikki Butler, and I'm a regional manager for STCU. My lunch buddy is Nicole.
I'm Brandy Schloss. I'm a regional manager at STCU. My lunch buddy is Angelina. She's grown up with me. I've grown up with her. To see her graduate will be a lot of fun.
Brandy and I have been lunch buddies since the girls were in 2nd grade. It's great that STCU provides me with the opportunity to be part of Reach for the Future. We are committed to the children. We're committed to our community. I'm Nikki.
I'm Brandy.
And STCU is here for good.
This is River Ridge Frame Shop, called Frame It Today, where we can take your art, customize it, and get it ready to hang on the wall. Here at River Ridge Hardware, 2803 West Garland.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
Well, welcome back. And I'm sitting across from a family member of ownership of radio stations in town some years ago, right?
That's right.
So,
pretty lucky.
were you ever in front of the camera?
No, I have the face for radio.
Okay,
as you
so
can
do
say.
I.
Yeah,
So
we
okay.
share that commonality there.
Yeah. What were the stations?
We had a group of stations, so there was 4 main ones that we had, and this was back in the mid-90s before the Telecommunications Act changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
But we had KEZE, Z-Rock, KU102, and there was a religious station with Tom that we talked about.
Yeah.
Fun times.
And
yeah.
you did.
So it kind of reminds me of
like the
bringing it back,
midnight to 6 in the morning or something, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
So
Did Dad put you in that slot? Is that?
He did, yeah. And I had some tremendous mentorship with his background around the nation, and so I was very grateful for that. And yeah, it was a fun experience. Certainly, I didn't have any professional training. I didn't.
That's
go to
okay. None of
background.
us do
yeah,
either.
Exactly. No broadcasting school, and sometimes you're wondering who's listening at 4 in the morning. So so it was a fun time.
Well, the dog at home, if you left the radio on, and
somebody at the gas station calling to request a song. Exactly.
All right. Well, let's get beyond that into what you're doing now, and you've really been spending some time the last 15, 20 years helping people and helping companies find jobs and people for their jobs, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And so you're with Humanix.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And how old is the company?
33 years old. Been around Coeur d'Alene, Spokane for quite some time. So,
yeah.
Have a tremendous impact on the local community.
Again, a local company.
Right.
Which I love, and we love here. Okay. So what is it? What is it that you do, Jason?
So my title is Director of Business Development, but at my core, I'm really a headhunter, and I know that term isn't used as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
But we're a recruiting staffing firm. We were lucky enough to win the top staffing agency from North Idaho Business Journal in 2019. Nice. So we're running for it again, hopefully this year. So if you're online, please vote.
Yep.
And so really, we have 2 different divisions. We have our temporary staffing side. So if it's short-term,
I think
staffing,
everyone's aware of that.
Yeah.
In terms of the community, people looking for temp jobs and replace somebody that's out on medical leave or
so we
serving
have
our country or whatever it might be. Right.
Permanent side too, where people can, if you're looking for more of those like direct hire long-term positions, so we like to give people options for what they need.
Tell me, what is the market like out there?
It's challenging.
Yeah.
You know, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time because there was 1,600 jobs posted last month, more than there was this time 2019. So it shows like where the market's at. Now this is for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, obviously.
Right.
Everybody kind of knows where the unemployment rate is. So it's low. So we have more jobs right now in the market than we can fill. But I think it's one thing, the value that we bring in the specialty is filling those positions.
How do you do that? Walk us through the process, because it isn't like what we've done here in the past or something where you just put a notice out and hope the right people come and you get 30 applicants and 1 or 2 might be worth considering. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And all that. So you provide that screening and so forth. So walk us through in the next minute or so the process that you go through. So I'm going to hire you to find me a new host of a program or whatever it might be.
Sure. So what we typically do is, one of the things we really try to do up front is work with our clients to provide that true partnership. So before we even start searching for candidates, we want to talk to them, learn the day in the life of what these candidates are going through.
Okay, right.
and really kind of understand their true needs as opposed to just filling a job with a warm body. So we'll kind of gather that information from them, and then what we'll do is then a combination of things really is whether it's LinkedIn, job posting, job aggregate sites, we will kind of start putting out word of that, and really kind of start reaching out to people who fit the criteria for what they're looking for. So it's a lot of emailing, phone calls, following up. Once we get those people in process, we start screening them, going through multiple layers of that and vetting, requalification, and then we present them to our candidates or to our companies really.
Yeah.
And
so it's not a matter of I just send my resume in and Do you get people who sign up with you because they have an engineering background or whatever it may be?
Sure.
And you're their best hope to really connect with the right companies because you've got that ability to see both sides.
And that's the other great part of, I think, the value that we bring to the table is the network of people we already have worked with or staffed before. And actually, I came from a meeting earlier that was doing this of unique manufacturing, and we have some of those people that we could provide for that. So
nice.
It's a talent pool that we kind of already have, but also I think working with us is knowing about the people who are passively looking, but would be interested in an opportunity, which there's about 59% of people nowadays passively looking.
Really?
About 30%, 31% are actively looking.
Okay.
And there's about another 10% that I'm good for now. So,
okay. But things can change next Monday, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We always leave the door open for that. For sure.
Okay, so I'm a manufacturing company, and you're looking for a couple employees that can head up that division or whatever it is. How many will you, on average, recommend that are already at a manufacturer, but this is a chance for them to move into something new and challenging? They've been doing it for maybe 5 years, and they've kind of told you, if this ever comes up.
Yeah, well, and that's actually a good point, because just because we have great candidates, we want to place them at good companies. We don't want them calling us back in 2 weeks or 6 months and saying, hey, and so I think that's one of the things that's helped us separate from other staffing companies maybe around is doing our due diligence up front. And our core values are not just something on a mission statement on a website. It's,
I would never want to say you take it from one company to put it there, so now you have to help fill that one. Of course, you would never.
No, we don't place people in the front and take them out the side. That's bad business. For sure.
But I'm sure some of that does happen just by graduating on to something bigger and better, though. Sure. A chance to be a foreman or a chance to lead a division where they've just been a coordinator or something like that.
And that's the beauty. I think everybody can appreciate the fact that people want to advance their careers. If they have a better opportunity somewhere else that they can go, hopefully that company and their boss wishes them good luck. And, and we'll keep the door open maybe for later terms.
Right. How can people get in touch with you specifically for what you do?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, go to Humanix.com. All of our job postings are on there. My contact information and my bio's on there. I can't say enough about our team, that really kind of help, place these positions, work with our clients.
Because a candidate or a business is going to see more than just you.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, right now, as the director of business development, I'm kind of out there, pounding the pavement, so to speak. But there's a tremendous amount of teamwork behind the scenes of account managers and senior recruiters that are helping once we start working with these companies.
So we don't want to mention the bad people you told me earlier.
No,
I'm
exactly.
kidding,
We'll keep that off camera. So in LinkedIn, you
that
can
really
find me,
makes
Jason
a difference,
Rook,
though, to have the right team.
To
be there for you.
It's crucial, and it absolutely is teamwork. So we try to not just fill the roles, but exceed expectations. So, that's my job.
Well, sorry the business community is so busy
and
growing,
I know.
right?
Yeah, it's giving me gray hairs on the chin.
Okay. All right. And I'm not doing what you're doing, and I'm all gray. So, well, great. Yeah. Thank you. Humanix.com.
Humanix.com. I'm on LinkedIn. Jason Rook. You can find me there if you have
Jason,
questions.
thank you.
Likewise.
All right. Good to have you here.
My pleasure.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, this is Tim Lane with State Farm with your Get is about trees and who's responsible for a fallen tree or branches. The answer comes down to negligence. If your neighbor's tree falls and damages your home, vehicle, or personal property due to a weather-related incident, then your insurance company would cover that as a non-fault loss. If you can prove negligence against your neighbor, city, or county, then they are legally responsible for your damages. If you have any coverage questions or would like a second opinion on your insurance, call my team and I at Tim Lane State Farm at 509-926-5135.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
I had no idea how to be an adult, let alone a mom. I grew up in over 20 foster homes, so I partied to escape. I wanted to change, but I had no idea what to do. UGM showed me that healing begins with the heart, with understanding how much we are loved by a good God. My kids and I started over with a whole new foundation. Real people, real change. Union Gospel Mission.
Well, welcome back. Kathleen Sullivan with, I'm going to say this correct, SullyGarman Associates. Now, what kind of a company is that?
Well, I work in supply chain and logistics consulting.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
I know, right? It used to be the most boring thing in the history of the world. In fact, I think CIA agents use it as a cover because no one will ask a follow-up question.
No,
right?
I think, yeah.
But now with the coronavirus, it's the hot topic.
I was going to say, I saw you, a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
You were in. What's changed since then, and are you keeping your sanity?
Everything has changed. It's my clients that are struggling keeping their sanity right now.
Yeah.
Because nothing's moving. Nothing's moving out of China, but it has a ripple effect on things moving really from anywhere to anywhere, because a lot of the freight forwarders are stuck.
Yes.
They can't go in or out of China, so their routes are stuck. So whether it's the manufacturing that's stuck or the movement of the goods after manufacturing.
Kind of a double whammy, isn't it?
There's going to be an economic domino effect for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you say that. What is probably going to be another month or two or three before that is somewhat behind us, or longer?
It's going to be longer.
Really?
Even manufacturers that manufacture in the United States can use equipment or components that are imported.
That's true.
All of that is delayed. What I'm hearing out of China as of this morning is that most of the manufacturing plants are still shut down. Some of them are open with limited capabilities, but they don't have all of their employees. The employees who are still in quarantine are not there.
Right.
So they're having to try to prioritize what they're going to work on.
Yeah, I was telling you during the commercial, I have a friend who gets some of their products from China and so forth, and where they are, the folks that work there live on campus, if you will, and so forth, but they're okay to manufacture, but they can't leave. If they leave, they can't come back to a job for who knows how long. So they're still supplying some things, but on a limited basis, while he's seen others like you're talking about that aren't shipping anything.
Well, the timing of the virus coming right at Chinese New Year was a big part of what is happening economically, because most of the employees for these factories live very far away from where they work, and so they use the month-long Chinese New Year break to go home and be with their families.
Ah, okay.
Now they can't get back.
Oh, gee.
So that's what's creating the problem.
Yeah. Oh boy. So how do you help solve that, or is there anything you can really do?
Well, there's a number of things that a merchant can do, or their supply chain department can do. What I've been encouraging everyone is start with compassion, right? These people are scared.
Yeah.
They're being impacted economically, physically, emotionally, rather than, send them an email or calling and demanding that they put yours first. Ask how they are.
Yeah.
Ask how their family is. Ask how their workers are. Show them.
Because they're struggling.
And they're humans.
Yeah.
And it matters to them, and there are a lot of factories that will go under as a result of the economic losses of this, and then that will create ripple effects here into the United States. We're already seeing slowdowns in autos and in pharmaceuticals are being impacted, but you're going to start seeing even all the little business Amazon sellers that are importing their
can't
products,
get their parts,
can't get their things.
Yeah.
So
well, welcome to a world where nothing is all American made.
Right.
Parts come from around the world,
Right.
okay? And if they're coming because you can get a great price and everything else to keep that part of your product or service inexpensive, welcome to a
Right.
terrible future in the next 6 months or a year, probably.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
a while before it levels out. One of my clients, Forever Green Indoors, they do LED grow lighting, and they manufacture actually right here in Spokane.
Oh, okay.
So that manufacturing is moving forward, and then they have other products that require components from
yeah.
Asia, and so that is all being delayed.
Wow.
And that has a longer ranging impact for their customers
Yes.
who are using the grow lights to grow plants.
Yes.
They've got lettuce growers, tomato growers, and of course the marijuana industry.
Right.
Well, those are living beings, those plants, and if they don't get under the lights, they will die.
Yeah.
So all of those vendors now are looking at losing their crop.
Yeah.
So the domino effect of everything that's going on is longer reaching.
Wow, wow. Well, you also have a heart for other things too, don't
I
you?
do.
And what is that?
So my passion project is called Mended Hearts of Spokane.
Yes.
And we are a local chapter of a national organization called Mended Hearts, Inc., and we provide support and networking for heart patients and their families. So there are almost 300 chapters nationwide,
Wow,
about
okay.
50,000 members from every state in the union.
Okay.
And all of our volunteers are former heart patients or caregivers.
Yeah.
And they work with patients at the time of diagnosis and after, and help them kind of figure out what their new normal is going to be, and help them feel less alone.
And it is a new normal.
It
I can
is.
speak from experience with my wife going through starting Thanksgiving Day and so forth, and she went through the whole process, and then they did where they stopped the heart and started again kind of thing. And she said, I really feel strange. And of course, she expected just to walk away from that feeling so much better. The fact is, she had a normal heartbeat now,
Yeah.
and she wasn't used to that. So it's the new normal.
It
And
is.
fortunately, my daughter-in-law is an RN, and so she had to explain to my wife that, yes, it's different, but it's not a bad difference. You're headed to a better difference.
Right.
But we're learning a lot.
It changes for you
Yeah.
as the caregiver as well as for your wife as the patient. My
Yeah.
daughter had open heart surgery at the age of 5,
Yes.
which is what sent me down this path, and
Yes.
it was completely traumatic as
Yeah.
a family. It was the hardest thing.
Yeah.
It will continue from all of my life be the hardest thing I've ever been through.
So how do you help people with Mended Hearts?
Well, what we
what
do
exactly
is
do you do?
we match up heart patients with someone that has a similar profile to them.
Okay.
So we have volunteers that work on the cardiac floor of the hospital and go door to door 2 days a week. They do patient rounds.
Right.
And so they will go in and visit with the patients and kind of find out where they're at, what their emotional needs are, and their families as well, and offer encouragement and support. And then we also have after discharge support, where if someone's kind of struggling with their new normal,
Right.
we will match them up with a peer mentor who's already been through it. So as a heart mom, I work
Yeah.
with other heart moms.
Right.
So when someone finds out their child has a heart defect and needs to have surgery or treatment, hopefully, it's hard when they don't.
Yeah.
I work with those parents on helping them get through it.
We've got some excellent cardiologists here in Spokane, don't we? Some of them actually are well known across the country.
Yeah.
So we have great medical care in Spokane in terms
do.
of being a medical community, but especially with the heart issue and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one of the reasons Providence brought us in and asked us to put this organization
Yeah,
together.
great.
They knew they had a grip on the medical side of
Right.
things, but they knew that some of the scores for patient satisfaction afterwards and the emotional healing needed to be addressed. So Mended Hearts fills that gap.
And it's so much easier to talk to another patient or someone in that family than the lingo sometimes with the doctors and the nurses and so forth.
You know, having someone just look you in the eye and say, I get it.
Yeah.
I know how you feel.
And you'll be okay.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. How can people get connected with
So
Mended Hearts?
Our website is mendedheartsofspokane.org,
Okay.
and we also have a Facebook page. We do a lot of education and outreach through our Facebook page.
Great.
And we also have a support group at St. Luke's Hospital on the second Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. right just inside the main entrance.
And all that can be found on Facebook and website and
Yep.
all of that, right?
Yep, and it's all free. We
Yeah.
just provide this out of love.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank
That's
you.
really important in our community, especially as we have an aging population too, because those things tend to happen to us,
Right.
as well as the little kids.
Right, and we help patients either, in utero all the way to palliative and bereavement care.
Wow.
So the full
Thank
range
you.
of a cardiac life cycle.
That's great. Well, get in touch with them if you know somebody who could use some friendship and some opening doors and some good information. Hey, thanks for watching the Pulse of Spokane. We have on Thursday a new host for Pulse of Spokane for Thursday edition. So tune in and find out who it is. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
This is River Ridge Frame Shop, called Frame It Today, where we can take your art, customize it, and get it ready to hang on the wall. Here at River Ridge Hardware, 2803 West Garland.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Welcome to a new kind of talk show, Spokane Talks, where you find news, views, and conversations that include respect for opinions, facts, and diversity.
Spokane Talks, Saturdays at 8 a.m. on Fox 28.
I'm Jade Becker and I'm a senior at Chewelah High School. I'm at STCU's Money Live event. In this scenario that we played today, I was a realtor. My spouse was a city worker. We had an 11-month-old child and there was a lot of spending for that child, like diapers and formula and had to buy toys and clothing. I'm very glad that I had this experience. It was super helpful. You need this to get far and ahead in life. I'm Jade Becker and STCU is here for good.
The Pulse of Spokane is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksMedia.com, which is solely responsible for its content. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Homes for You, Well Dressed Walrus, Spokane Firefighters Local 29, Creative Music Learning Center, and North Idaho Events. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or hear this program again on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or